We've always been told that complex language is what makes us human. It's the special sauce, the thing that separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. But what if we're wrong? What if that line in the sand is a lot more blurry than we ever imagined? This is the story of Coco, a gorilla who didn't just learn our language, but started using it in ways no one thought possible, forcing us to question everything we thought we knew about intelligence and the boundaries between species. Our story kicks off in 1972, not with a gorilla, but with a PhD candidate named Francine Penny Patterson. Inspired by early sign language research with chimps, she decided to take on a revolutionary project: teach American Sign Language to a gorilla. At the time, many scientists were skeptical. The general view was that gorillas weren't as bright as their chimpanzee cousins. But Penny saw something more. She chose a 1-year-old western lowland gorilla at the San Francisco Zoo, a baby named Hanabi-ko, which means fireworks child in Japanese. The world, however, would soon come to know her simply as Coco. The choice of American Sign Language, or ASL, was no accident. Researchers knew that gorillas already use a whole system of gestures to communicate in the wild. It seemed like their hands were primed for language. The theory was pretty simple. If the main barrier to ape speaking was their vocal cords, maybe their hands could unlock the door to their minds. Penny's goal wasn't just to teach signs. It was to open a dialogue and see if a real conversation between species was even possible. The early days of Project Coco were intense. Penny didn't just drill Coco on signs. She created a world drenched in language. She used a method called dual communication, signing to Coco while also speaking the words out loud. The caregivers around Coco signed to each other too, so Coco could learn by just watching and observing, a lot like how a human toddler picks up language from the world around them. And the results were incredible. Within weeks, Coco started putting signs together. Her learning curve looked almost exactly like a human child's, with her vocabulary exploding between the ages of 2.5 and 4.5. By the time she was an adult, she had a working vocabulary of more than 1,000 signs and could understand around 2,000 spoken English words. This wasn't just mindless mimicking. Coco was truly acquiring a language. But here's where it gets really interesting. Coco's vocabulary wasn't just about asking for food, drink, or more. She started using signs to express a rich, complex inner world. She could communicate her emotions, signing words like sad, love, good, and sorry. Her vocabulary grew to include some surprisingly deep concepts. She could describe another gorilla or a person as obnoxious, or call an action fake or polite. This was way more than a grocery list of nouns and verbs. It was a window into her mind. She used language to comment on her day, recall memories, and even talk about stories she saw in books and movies. In one famous moment, when asked to identify herself, Coco didn't sign gorilla. She signed fine animal gorilla. It was a startling response that hinted at a profound sense of self. Coco didn't just learn the language she was taught, she started making it her own. She began creating her own signs for words she didn't know, combining signs she already had to form brand new concepts. For example, when she wanted to talk about a ring but didn't know the sign, she improvised by signing finger followed by bracelet, effectively creating the compound word finger bracelet. This wasn't just memory, it was linguistic creativity. Penny Patterson even gave this unique adaptation a name: Gorilla Sign Language. Coco also showed a sharp sense of humor and a talent for telling fibs. Primatologist Jane Goodall recalled a time Coco was being tested on colors. When shown a white cloth, she kept signing red. Finally, her trainer, getting a little frustrated, told her she wouldn't get her juice until she gave the right answer. Coco did something amazing. She picked a tiny speck of red lint off the cloth, held it up, and triumphantly signed, "Red, red, red," while making a hooting sound that was her version of laughter. She knew the answer all along, she was just messing with them. In another famous story, after ripping a steel sink right out of the wall, Coco signed to her caregivers that her tiny pet kitten was to blame, signing, "Cat did it." Coco's ability to create new words, tell jokes, and even lie makes you wonder about the very nature of communication. If you're finding this story as mind-blowing as we do, hit that subscribe button and join us as we keep exploring the limits of intelligence in the animal kingdom. Now, it's important to say, not everyone in the scientific community was on board. Despite Coco's fame, the project was controversial from the start. Critics argued that Penny Patterson and her team were overinterpreting Coco's signs, projecting human thoughts and feelings onto what might have been ambiguous gestures. This is known as anthropomorphism. A major criticism was the lack of formal, peer-reviewed data. Most of what we know about Coco comes from documentaries and media appearances, not from dense scientific papers. Skeptics pointed to transcripts where Coco's signed responses seemed to make no sense. For instance, when asked if she liked talking to people, she once signed "fine nipple." Handlers saw this as a kind of playful rhyme for the word people, but many linguists saw it as a meaningless, random sign and a perfect example of researchers seeing what they wanted to see. This debate was part of a larger firestorm around language-trained apes, with some research concluding that apes were incapable of true grammatical structure. The scientific consensus remains that non-human primates don't acquire language with the same complex rules that humans do. But whatever the scientific debate over her grasp of grammar, no one could deny Coco's deep emotional life. And nothing made this clearer than her relationship with a tiny, tailless kitten. After repeatedly signing that she wanted a cat for Christmas and turning her nose up at a stuffed toy, Penny let her choose a real kitten for her birthday. Coco picked out a small gray and white Manx. When asked what to name him, she again showed her playful side. Since the kitten was tailless and looked like a ball, she named him All Ball. The image of the gentle, 230-pound gorilla cradling a tiny kitten captured the world's heart. She would play with him, groom him, and treat him with the tenderness of a mother. But the story took a tragic turn. All Ball escaped the enclosure and was killed by a car. When Penny told Coco the news, her reaction was absolutely heartbreaking. She became very quiet and then began to sign bad, sad, bad, and frown, cry, frown, sad. Researchers even reported hearing her make long, deep sounds that were eerily similar to human weeping. For months, she would sign cry and sleep when she saw pictures of other kittens. This raw expression of grief was some of the most powerful evidence that animals can experience deep, complex emotions, just like us. The lasting legacy. Coco passed away in her sleep in June 2018 at the age of 46. Her life and her legacy are still debated. Did she truly master language, or were her handlers just seeing what they wanted to see? The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. She may not have achieved human-level grammar, but she did something arguably more important. She built a bridge. Coco completely changed the public's perception of gorillas, shifting them from mindless monsters to intelligent, feeling beings. She challenged the old idea that humans are totally unique and became an ambassador for her endangered species. She forced us to look into the eyes of another creature and see not a reflection of ourselves, but a unique consciousness looking back. Coco opened a door. And even if we've only taken a few steps through it, the world looks different from the other side. She showed us that communication is about more than just words. It's about connection. And her legacy is the question of who else might be out there, just waiting for us to finally learn how to listen. So, what's your take on all this? Was Coco truly speaking a language, or were her caregivers creatively interpreting her gestures? We'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Her story is a powerful reminder that there is still so much we don't know about the incredible minds of the animals we share this planet with. Thanks for watching.